little bit about how you got into tattooing?
It was just by chance, honestly. I got into tattooing. Basically, I was dating a girl. Her uncle had tattoo equipment, and he was tattooing out of his house and stuff like that. And she's seen a lot of the artwork that I had done previously. I had been into drawing since I've been old enough to hold a pencil.
Okay.
She told him that she wanted me to do a tattoo on her, and I told her she was crazy.
Yeah.
I had never done anything like that at that point. And he said he would fix it or cover it if I did mess it up. And I said, well, let's run it then. I went ahead and did the tattoo, and the tattoo looked better than anything he ever did. So, I kind of thought to myself, well, if he can do this, there ain't no reason why I can't. So I was laid off at the time. I started saving up my unemployment checks from the factory. I was laid off from a steel factory, and I bought some equipment and I started tattooing my friends, and then I got an apprenticeship with a local shop in Grand Rapids, and pretty much the rest is history.
Okay. So you said you've been tattooing for about 8 years. How did you first get into that?
I had a friend that wanted tattoos, and so I kind of started just doing them because I always known how to draw, and I've always been into that. Every single class in high school used to be a drawing class, so it kind of naturally came into place. But the person that wanted me to start tattooing, he actually worked at Liquid Tattoo in town, and he got me in that way, and then I started apprenticing, and then he opened his own shop called, what was it, Voodoo Doll. It was Voodoo Doll Tattoo, and then I worked there, and then that's how I got, my position at Light Touch, and kind of rolled from there.
Okay. Are you seeing more diversity as far as gender or the professions of your clients?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. It's definitely becoming a lot more accepted, I guess you could say.
And why do you think that is?
I think the older generation that had tattoos, they're more accepting, and it's just kind of filtering down.
Okay.
And then, of course, I think all of the reality TV shows are kind of having an impact on that as well.
You mentioned that you think tattoos are more socially acceptable now, just with the doctors and lawyers that you've tattooed. Why do you think that is?
Because it's more of a fine art now. I really believe it to be, more of a fine art because of the fact people are collecting, tattoos. They're not just seedy, back alley, places that, do these, me myself, I do more than just tattoos. I do paintings. I build motorcycles. I do pinstriping for cars. I do anything that has to do with art.
What's the most unique tattoo that you've ever done? As far as like an interesting story or just the design of it?
Okay. This one girl is doing a sleeve that I'm designing right now, and it's all about lovesick. And a girl, it's going to be awesome, this girl on the top of her arm is leaning over, puking out hearts, and then the heart turns into a feather that is inside of a blinded by love woman. She's blinded with lace.
Oh, wow.
And then on the back of her arm, it's going to morph into an awesome, luscious, like really sexy pair of lips that are holding a candy heart inside of it that says lovesick in French. So her whole arm is themed around being lovesick.
And she just came up with the designer. I mean, how do you work with the clients to develop the final?
I talk to them for a while. I email them back and forth or on Facebook or text, and I get a feel for who they are. And then once I know who they are, I start asking them questions about what sort of themes we can get into. And once we realize what the theme is, then I just kind of go from there and I start shooting off a ton of ideas and how pieces can morph into the other piece without looking like they're placed.
Are there certain types of images that are really popular right now in your experience? Or anything that's no longer popular that it was when you first started?
Yeah, I think it's definitely moving more to a custom tattoo than just finding an image off the wall.
What about the general size of tattoos that are popular right now and use of color?
Tattoos in general, I think people are starting to go with larger pieces. Color, there's still plenty of people out there that just like gray work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's still pretty even, I think.
It's definitely not on the whim. Like almost all the tattoos that I do now definitely are not on the whim. They're very planned. They're talked about for a while, and you don't get them that day. They usually have to wait at least 2 to 4 months before they even get them, and they're detailed before they even come in.
Basically, the biggest thing is, you know, it's always trying to talk people into getting something that they really like instead of something at a spur of the moment that they're going to regret later.